Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, if you want some Nvidia stock, the good folks at Moo Brokerage are going to give you some Nvidia stock when you open a new Moo brokerage account and you make a deposit. All of the details on that offer are down in the description box, the very first link. Click on that Moo link, open up yourself a new Moo brokerage account, make a deposit, and get yourself some Nvidia stock. All right, guys, we got Trump's jobs report this morning, and I gotta say, it's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. But I believe that's the point. I believe Trump wants a terrible jobs report. Why do you say that, Richard? Well, think about it, guys. Trump wants interest rates down. And what's the best way to get interest rates down? Sabotage the jobs report. Sabotage the jobs report. Well, Richard, how can Trump sabotage the jobs report? Well, let you know how he does it. Last month, in August, Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. He fired her because the July jobs report came out significantly underperforming what the experts expected the economy to do when it comes to adding jobs. Remember, economists had the economy adding like over 100,000 jobs in July, but we only added 75,000 jobs. Trump fired the lady who was in charge of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because of that report. But was that planned? I think it was. Here's why. When Trump fired this lady, he put his own guy in. So now all of a sudden you get the August jobs report, and it's even worse than the July's jobs report. And this is Trump's guy who is in charge of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This is all Trump's jobs report, guys. Let's go through the numbers, and I'm going to give you my little feedback. Again, guys, just my feedback. You don't have to agree. It's just my feedback and my opinion. But here we go. Here are the numbers, guys. Here are the numbers. The stock market is experiencing a notable downturn today. Why? Because of this jobs report. August jobs report. The report revealed that the U.S. employers added only 22,000 jobs, guys, in August. Significantly below the 75,000 jobs economists had predicted. That's not the only thing, guys. Additionally, the unemployment rate edged up to 4.3%. So let me make sure I get this straight. Trump gets mad at the July jobs report, and he fires the lady who was in charge of BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics. He fired her because he was not happy with the 75,000 jobs that were added to the economy in July. Trump wasn't happy, so he fired her. 1 month later, in August, with his guy in charge of the BLS, handpicked by Trump and put in that position, probably completely unqualified, but put him in the position anyways. And then we get the August report. It's 22,000 jobs added. Hold on. In July, you added 75,000 jobs. In August, you only added 22,000 jobs. How can that be good? I'm not very good in math, but it seems as though 75,000 jobs, 22,000 jobs, there's a big gap there. But that was the point. See, Trump wants to control the BLS. And if he can control the BLS, he controls the data. Trump understands he really can't force the Federal Reserve to reduce rates. But what he can do is manipulate the numbers. Now, I'm not saying he did that. I'm just giving you my opinion, guys, because it seems really interesting to me what's playing out here. But hear me out. Again, I got nothing against President Trump. I don't. I'm just giving you the numbers. It could be anybody in the White House with these type of numbers. That's a concern to me. I don't care who's in the White House. But Trump is in the White House. Trump handpicked this guy that he put in place of this lady he fired, right? So you deliver 22,000 new jobs. Here's the thing that concerns me. When you go look at the ADP report, which came out yesterday, this is private payrolls, right? This is for the private sector. They added 54,000 jobs. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still underperformed because experts thought the private sector would add 75,000 jobs, but they only added 54. So let me get this right. How in the world can the private sector, through ADP, that's data that's independent. See, Trump can't control that data. He can't manipulate that data. That's coming directly from ADP, right? So how can you have 54,000 jobs added to the economy based on the ADP private sector jobs report? 54,000 now. But then when you look at the all-encompassed jobs report for August, which is the BLS statistics, you only add 22. Let me get this right now. Like I said, I'm not really good in math, but let me just work on the numbers here. So August ADP payroll jobs report, whatever you want to call it, for the private sector added 54,000 jobs. Trump's August jobs report comes out, and it's only 22,000 jobs added. What's the math on that? The math on that is what? 32? 32? Yeah, I think 32. Just make sure I get my math right here. 32,000 jobs. What happened to those 32,000 jobs from the private sector August jobs report, right? Let me do the math. I just want to make sure I got my numbers right. Yeah, 32. 32,000 job difference from the two reports for August. Trump's August jobs report, and then you got ADP private sector jobs report. ADP's private sector jobs report for August is 54,000 jobs. 54,000 jobs added to the economy. Trump August jobs report, 22,000. There's a 32,000 difference there, guys. Where are those jobs? Or maybe in the all-encompassing August report, the jobs report, which includes all the jobs, including federal government, etc. There's a $32,000 difference there, guys. Neither report is good for the stock market. Neither report, right? See, here's the thing, guys. We all want interest rate cuts. But investors understand that interest rate cut is not going to help us very much if we're going into a recession. When you only add 22,000 jobs to the economy, guys. And again, guys, I don't believe in that report, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion. You ain't got to agree with me. This report that came, this Trump's August, that's what I call it. I call it the Trump's August jobs report. From here on out, it's Trump's job report because he got his own guy in there who will manipulate the numbers however he wants them manipulated. Now, here's another interesting thing that just listening to President Trump, right? He did an interview. Matter of fact, he had a big old thing at the White House where he brought in all the oligarchs, right? He brought in the corporate oligarchs, And if you don't know what that means, go out and do your research on oligarchs. But he brought in the corporate oligarchs. Why in the world do we always have the corporate oligarchs in there with a press conference? Don't these guys understand what's happening? He already done took over 10% of Intel. He already got 10% of MP Materials. I'm not 10%, 15% of MP Materials. And then there's one other company that they done got a part of the company. So these oligarchs think they're safe. No, you're not safe. But that's a whole nother video. Let's stay on track here. So yesterday, Trump in his office, in the White House, and he got the oligarchs in there. And I don't know what they're doing. They in there doing something. I don't know what they were in there doing. But here's the thing that was interesting to me. One of the reporters asked Trump about the ADP jobs report. Right? He asked him about that. They were like, well, the jobs report came out for ADP and it underperformed. They only added 54,000 jobs where the experts thought 75,000 jobs. What do you think? Trump said, nah, we're not going to see the real numbers for a year from now. That's what Trump said. Trump said, we're not going to see the real job numbers for another year. Another year now? He said, you're not going to see the real numbers. This is what he said. If you don't believe me, go out and do your homework. Now, again, I'm just giving you my little 2 cents, guys. You guys can make your own decision. I'm just giving you my little 2 cents. I'm telling you what I heard President Trump say. He said, those are not the real numbers yet. You won't get the real numbers until a year from now. So what does that tell me? The numbers are not going to be real, guys. Trump said that. He said, you won't get the real numbers. You won't see the real numbers until a year from now. So why in the world would President Trump jobs report, whatever's going on with the numbers? I don't have any faith in them, but that's just my opinion. I just think you got to have a level of separation there. I don't think you can. I just think you need a level of separation. I don't see how you fire the lady that has served under several presidents in this capacity, right? And the numbers from July was actually better than the numbers from August with, President Trump's guy in the position. Now, some may argue, well, it takes time for that guy to get in there and fix things. I don't know, guys. I think intentionally they got this report low because Trump wants interest rates cut. And I think he knows that. See, you got to understand, guys, we got about $6 to $9 trillion in short-term debt coming due. See, in the United States, we borrow money. The government borrows money in order to run the government, right? Because we operate at a deficit. Our government, if it was a business, it would be a poorly run business. And this ain't just Trump now. This is Bush. This is Biden, Obama. All of them ran at a deficit. It ain't just Trump. This is what America does. We run at a deficit, right? So we only collect about $4 trillion in tax revenue, but it costs about $7 trillion to run the country, right? Right? That's one of the things what the big beautiful bill was trying to do, was get rid of some of that. That's what the big beautiful bill was trying to do, and provide tax cuts for those guys that were in the White House with Trump yesterday, those oligarchs. See, those oligarchs, that's really all it boils down to, is the oligarchs. It ain't just Trump. That's all these presidents, right? That's Obama, that's Bush, that's Biden, that's Reagan, all of them. The oligarchs are the ones who benefit, right? The oligarchs. Because even in Biden and even in Obama, the oligarchs got their tax cuts. Even with Trump, they get more tax cuts, boy, because he's, Trump is more business minded. He comes from the business sector. So he's going to tend to, want to do things better for the business sector because that's what he comes out of. But here's the thing. I think the report is intentionally low. so that he can guarantee rate cuts. Remember, we got this $6 to $9 trillion in debt coming due, short-term debt. What do you mean short-term debt? Well, America borrows money to run the country, guys, and they issue treasury bonds, treasury notes, treasury bills in order to borrow money to run our country. Some of that debt, remember, we got $37 trillion in national debt. 37 trillion. You got to pay the interest on that debt, guys. Can you go out and just do the math on $37 trillion, guys, in debt? There are interest rates tied to that debt, varying interest rates. We got a $6 to $9 trillion block of that debt coming due. Here's the thing why Trump wants to cut interest rates. He wants that debt renewed or refinanced or however you want to call it, reset at a lower interest rate. The only way that happens is if the Federal Reserve lowers the Fed funds rate. That's the only way it happens. So how does he force the Federal Reserve to do that? Monkeys around with the labor statistics, right? He monkeys around with the labor statistics, artificially put them in the crapper. And now, guess what? On September 17th, there's almost a 100% chance that the Fed will reduce rates on September 17th, just because of this report today. Go out and look at the statistics, guys. Go out and look at the numbers. You ain't got to take my word for it. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Go look at the numbers if you don't believe me. Go look at the numbers right now. What is the likelihood that the Fed will cut rates on September 17th? It's almost 100%. Almost 100%. Now, here's the question. With this type of data that came out today, 22,000 jobs added, and experts predicted 75,000. Guys, that's like $53,000 short. And guess what? It'll probably be worse than this once they do the adjustments. When they do the adjustments, it may be negative. Now, here's the troubling thing that you need to be thinking about. Unemployment rate ticked up to 4.3%. You see where I'm going with this? Go look at the unemployment rate back in January, February, March. What was in that 3.7% range? Now it's 4.3%. Listen, man, y'all can say whatever you want to say. No president is perfect. We know that. None of them are. None of them are perfect. But here's the thing that really concerns me. When I hear every single day, not just from President Trump, but all of the people that he's surrounded himself with, in my opinion, most of them are extremely unqualified. And they're in very, very serious positions. That's my opinion now. You don't have to agree with that. Again, you do not have to agree with that. That's my opinion. But here's the problem, at least for me. You have President Trump, and then you got all these people surrounding him. Every single day, they come out and say how great the economy is, how great prices are coming down. They say this every day, guys. Every single day. Every single day they say this. Just yesterday I heard Laura Bush, what's her name? Laura Trump. She's married to one of Trump's sons. She was on Fox saying how prices are coming down. Prices are down. But yet and still, you get a jobs report that shows the economy added 22,000 jobs. The lowest point in a long time. Lowest numbers in a long time, guys. And you're starting to see unemployment tick up. But everything's great. I keep telling y'all there are two economies, a boom economy and a bust economy. See, these people who are in Trump's administration, they belong to the boom economy because they're all billionaires and plenty of money, inside information, so they can do the things they need. These people are in the boom economy because they're making a lot of money under Trump. Y'all don't think Trump the only one making money, right? Y'all do know Trump and his family done increased their net worth by $5 billion in the first 8 months of his presidency, his second term. They've increased their net worth by like $5 billion. But Trump is not the only one increasing his net worth, guys. Everybody in his orbit is increasing their net worth. See, that's the boom economy that they live in. So for them, they don't care if eggs go up by $2, $3 for 12 eggs. They don't care for a dozen. They don't care. They're living in this boom economy. They're making a bunch of money right now, right? They're making a bunch of money. Down here where most of us live, in the bust economy, we're the ones that's feeling the real pain of this thing. But yet and still, they're coming out every single day saying things are so great. I'm telling you, I'm listening to President Trump yesterday in this whatever he was doing at the White House with the oligarchs. He said, you're not going to see the real numbers. The guy was talking about the jobs report. The reporter asked him about the jobs report. And he said, you're not going to see the real numbers for at least a year. That's what he said. And what does that mean? This is what it sounds like to me. This is just my opinion. It sounds like you're going to see numbers in the tanker for at least a year. And then in a year, the real numbers will come out. We'll be doing great. But by that time, guess what's going to happen? Interest rates will probably be to zero. Fed funds rate will be to zero by that time. They'll be either 0, 1, or 2%. At worst, 3% Fed funds rate by that time. That's what Trump is going to accomplish. See, you got to understand, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, I believe next May, he's done. Trump going to put his own person in there, just like he did at the BLS and every other government organization. Trump got his own people in there who are 100% loyal to him. So that's what's happening right now. So you get this jobs report, 22,000 jobs. See, investors on Wall Street know what's going on. You and I may not know what's going on because we spend our time entertaining ourselves and fighting battles, and we don't spend our time really figuring out what's going on. But see, these people on Wall Street who got trillions of dollars invested in the stock market, they know what's going on. That's why you see the stock market doing what it's doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing though. Here's what Wall Street is saying. This is how Wall Street is treating it. See, Wall Street says, we know things that are happening right now ain't right. But guess what? We're not going to fight that battle. We're going to just do what we need to do in order to take advantage of all this chaos. That's what Wall Street is doing. See, Wall Street is not going to, they're not going to fight that battle. That's why they came out with that little nickname, Taco. See, that's what Wall Street came out with. See, Wall Street knows what's going on. But see, Wall Street going to manipulate it and still make money, though. I'm telling you, Wall Street knows exactly what's going on. So what's happening on the market today? Here's the headline for what's going on in the stock market. S&P 500 gives up gain as traders balance job market worries with rate cut hopes. See, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Because on one hand, you want interest rates to go down. But on the other hand, in order for that to happen, you're going to have to send the economy into a recession. That's the only way it's going to come down. That's the rock. You stuck between a rock and a hard place if you're a retail investor. Now, these guys that are on Wall Street, they know how to play the game. They're going to make money no matter what, because they're going to manipulate the market. They're going to manipulate everything, right? They're going to make money anyways. It's people like you and me. If we don't know what's going on, we're the ones that get hurt, because remember, the majority of Americans or people living in America live down here in this bust economy. No wealth, no retirements, paycheck to paycheck, high interest rate credit card debt, etc., etc., etc. Do you really think anybody cares in the current administration? Matter of fact, no administration cares. Not just Trump's administration. Biden's administration don't care. See, here's the thing, guys. The 1% run this country. That's why you see the oligarchs in there. Now, the oligarchs the oligarchs are trying to play both ends of this thing, right? That's what the oligarchs are trying to do. The oligarchs know that Trump is a little bit unconventional, the way he do things. He's not like other presidents. He's very unconventional. And here's the thing. People have all just normalized Trump's activity. So all this crazy stuff that happens, people have just normalized it. Like, oh, that's just Trump. It's okay. Oligarchs know that. So you got, who you had in there yesterday? You had, what is his name? The guy from Facebook, Zuckerberg. You got Zuckerberg in there, right? A reporter asked Zuckerberg a question. He asked Trump and Zuckerberg a question about the UK and the censorship over in the UK, how, you know, people making posts and stuff like that, they're getting arrested if they say the wrong. Zuckerberg, the guy asked Zuckerberg, guess what Zuckerberg looked at? Trump. Zuckerberg just looked at Trump. Like, Trump, what should I say? This is what I'm telling you. Why do you have the oligarchs sitting in the Oval Office, or wherever they were? I don't know if they were in the Oval Office, but they was at the White House. Why do you have these oligarchs at the White House? What's the purpose of the oligarchs that being there? I mean, come on, man. Y'all gotta, listen, man. All I can tell you guys is prepare. Get yourself ready. Now, the Fed gonna have to reduce rates on the 17th. In my opinion, no question. The question is how much of a rate cut? Will it be 25 basis points? Will it be 50 basis points? Will it be 75 basis points? Keep in mind, next week, I believe on Tuesday, CPI inflation report comes out for August. That's coming out, I believe, next Tuesday. I want to say the 11th. Let me double. I think it's on the 11th. Whatever the 11th is. Let me see. What is that? Tuesday, next Tuesday? I ain't got my dates here right. Let me see when is it. No. I take that back. I think it's next Thursday. So next Thursday, September the 11th, you're going to have the CPI inflation report for August. And either the day before or the day after, you'll get the PPI inflation report for August. We'll see what those numbers say. But for right now, guys, it ain't looking good. Again, now, I don't know what's going on with these numbers because I don't know how ADP can come out with private sector payroll, jobs added, whatever you want to call it, 54,000. Trump job report for August come out 22,000. Who ain't, I mean, I don't get it. There must have been a negative then somewhere in Trump's report. I don't know. It just don't make any sense to me. I can't really, personally, I can't trust any data that comes out of the White House. I can't. Not me. Not as an investor. I'm not taking this personal, guys. I'm not personal. Again, I got nothing against Trump or his administration because I understand all of these administrations, whether it's Democrat or Republican, they all serve the 1%. All of them do. Some of them just hide behind it and smoke screen. Trump just out front with his. You see, Trump just tell you what's going on in his head. He don't care. Trump just tell you. The rest of these presidents, they ain't gonna do that. They're gonna try to hide it from you. They're gonna try to smoke screen you. But Trump just comes straight out and tell you what's going on and right in broad daylight. Oh yeah, I'm doing crypto. I'm gonna do a crypto this, crypto that, crypto this. He just tell you right out. Trump tell you right out, oh yeah, you ain't gonna see the real jobs numbers for a year. This is what he actually said at the White House yesterday. You're not gonna see the real job numbers for at least a year. That's what Trump said. See, listen, man, I don't have a dog in the fight, right? Because I'm gonna follow the 1%, right? I know what the 1% gonna do. That's who I'm gonna follow. But goodness gracious, man, you gotta give him credit for at least just being honest when it comes to what's going on in his head and what he wants to say. He just tell you, oh, you ain't gonna see the real job numbers for a year. So this report you see today, he said it, not me. He said you're not gonna see the real numbers for a year. So can you even believe these numbers that came out today? Personally, no, not for me. I can't believe them. But I know why they came out. He's going to force Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve to reduce these rates. So from here on out, guys, we may not, these jobs report, Trump's jobs reports, because that's what it is. He got his own people in there and they beholden to him 100%. Whatever he tell them people to do, they're going to do, all of them. Y'all did see last week when they had the cabinet meeting. It was like a 4-hour cabinet meeting, guys. I don't know how many people was in there, but it had to be at least 30 of them in there. And listen, guys, they went from 1 to 30, every one of those people. And guess what they did? They just sung Trump's praises, every single one of them. How great you are. We got posters all over Washington, D.C. You're the greatest president of all time. I'm so honored. I'm so this, I'm so that. I mean, who? I mean, everybody? Don't nobody in there have anything else to say constructive? The whole thing was just a 4-hour congratulations to you, Donald Trump fest. That's all it was. There's nobody in there that says, hey man, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Nobody. Everybody in there for 4 hours, all they did was bent the knee and kiss the ring. Every single person he had in there. Now, if y'all don't think that's not, something ain't funny about that, that's a little strange to me. You don't think so? Oh, come on, guys, I'm talking about like 30 people were in there. It's like 30 people he had in there. And listen, they didn't skip one person. They went from 1 to number 30, and every single one of them bent the knee and kissed the ring. Just how great you are, the greatest president of all time. They're wearing Trump lapels. They got Trump posters all splattered all across Washington, D.C. on every building. Oh, you're so great. Yes, let's go invade Chicago and bring the military. Well, you can do that. You don't think something wrong with that? I mean, come on, guys. You got to have somebody in your administration. You got to have some checks and balances. We got no checks and balances right now. All power has been centralized into President Trump. So therefore, you're going to get these jobs reports. We don't know if they're true or not. I don't know what the economy added. Who knows? All I do know is we're going to get a rate cut on the 17th. Now, I don't know how big the rate cut will be, but we're going to get one. So get in position. That's all I can tell you guys. Get yourself in position. Rate cut coming. Get yourself in position, man. Put the logical thinking cap on. Take the emotional thinking cap off. We know none of this is, you can't, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's a jigsaw puzzle that I can't figure out. I can't figure it out. I can't put it together. It's just, when you sing the praises of one person, that's all you do all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. Get in position, guys. Personally, I don't believe any of this data that comes out of the White House. I don't. But I'm not going to let that stop me from building wealth. I'm just going to follow the 1%, right? I'm going to follow the 1%. Right now, in my opinion, now, I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not trying to give anybody financial advice. I'm just giving you my opinion. We got a little dipsy right now. See, what happened is the market, when it initially opened this morning, you saw a little pop. And then guess what happened to that pop? It quickly dissipated. This morning, when the market opened, you got a little bit of a pop. And then it quickly just deteriorated. By 10 o'clock, it was gone. The pop was gone. Now guess what we got? All red. All red. Dow red, S&P red, NASDAQ red. Why? Investors on Wall Street, in my opinion, guys, it's just my opinion, do not believe in any of this data that's coming out of the White House. They don't. It's not real comforting when I turn on I go to my phone and look up what's going on, current news, yesterday, and I see all the oligarchs sitting in the White House. I don't know why they were there. Who knows? That's not reassuring, guys. It's not reassuring when I hear everybody in the Trump ecosystem, every time they're on TV, I don't care if it's from the smallest representative, House of Representative person to the largest senator, to the all these news media outlets, these corporate news, none of them, all of them are scared of him. And I ain't mad at him. I'm scared of him too. I don't want nothing to do with it. So I can't be mad at him for not wanting to tangle with Trump, because you don't want to mess with Trump, because Trump will, he'll put the foot on you, right? So I get it. But for us 99%ers out here, guys, we got to still figure out a way to build wealth. And here's what I say. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy the dip. Every time it's a dipsy, I'm going to have me some dry powder on the sideline, and I'm going to buy the dipsy. And I'm going to wait, because we know eventually pop, right? Eventually something going to happen. We're going to get a little pop. And once we get the pop, and I'm going to wait for the next dip. Now, long-term portfolio, you know, I got the short-term and the long-term. Short-term portfolio, FCF, that's the strategy, right? Fluctuations, look for fluctuations. And then once the dipsy come, take advantage of the dipsy. First rally that comes, exit. Long-term strategy, DCA. DCA, just keep DCA in. 15th of the month is DCA, long-term, long-term, long-term. Big boy blue chips though. None of this funny stuff, all big boy blue chips. That's the strategy, that's it, that's all I can do. And just wait this thing out. That's all I can do. Numbers gonna be funny, right? You'll never know the real jobs numbers for a while. You ain't gonna know the real numbers for a while. When it comes to CPI inflation report, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Right? Take care of yourself. And like I said, if you want to get yourself some Nvidia stock, get yourself down to that first link in the description box. That's the Moomoo link. Good folks at Moomoo are willing to give you some Nvidia stock if you open up a new Moomoo brokerage account. And take a look at that. Take advantage of it, guys. I mean, you got to get yourself in position, and you're going to need a brokerage account to get yourself in position, so consider it. And then the Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon, that's my community. All we do in that community is help each other build wealth. None of us are experts. We don't try to be experts. We don't try to tell people what to do. We're just there to be a financial community that people can ask questions and get opinions, and that's it, right? All of us head in the same direction, which is financial freedom, building wealth. If you want to be a part of that group, click on that second link down in the description box and come check us out, man. Come check us out. Good luck to you. Good luck. I don't know when we're ever going to see real numbers again. This Trump's jobs report. So I don't know when we're going to ever see the real numbers again. We may never see them again. Well, we'll see them again at some point, but no time soon. No time soon. Trump wants them interest rates to zero. And he ain't going to stop until them interest rates go down to zero, guys. Until that Fed funds rate is zero, Trump ain't going to be happy. He ain't going to be happy to that Fed funds rate. Right now it's 4.5%. And he wants that thing to zero. So buckle up. Put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on. Put your logical thinking cap on. Appreciate y'all stopping by the channel. If you're stopping by for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.